Yeah, I think it's a really good idea. I don't understand why hitching died. I don't know what created that death at all.
Well, I have hitchhiked around Cornwall and in my own times, in my leisure time sort of thing, and that worked really well. There's obviously the issue of safety there.
I can see that would be sensible. I mean, you have between two places, and people go and you can hitch a lift. But I think there are certain, possibly people of my generation, that would be a bit afeared of giving people a lift. I think youngsters would do it, but I think people sort of my age would be a bit apprehensive.
But I hitched just about everywhere, as did most of the people I know that were students in the kind of mid to late 80s, and it just seemed to die out for some reason.
It would be a bit intimidating, I think, to stand and if you're trying to get somewhere for a certain time, it's a bit risky.
Yeah, I would have never done it before. Like, I don't know, it's kind of quite a stigmatised idea, if you hitchhike, might be a serial rapist in the car. But from doing it, it actually really changed my opinion of people. Like, we met so many interesting people who were really friendly, even just like the drivers. And it really changed my opinion. And now, if I drive back home, I've picked up a few hitchhikers. And I would hitch. I mean, I haven't yet, but my friend hitches all the time, just being safe. But yeah, it's a good idea.
I mean, I have stopped and sort of picked people up on quite long distances, but it's something. I mean, I stop, and if I see people I know, I do stop and offer them lifts. But it's funny, I come from that era when hitchhiking was disapproved of, and I never did it myself.
I don't think I'd pick people up if I didn't know them.
No, I wouldn't pick people up.
It's not difficult to get to know other students and stuff, because we know a lot of people from living in halls and people to see that kind of thing. I probably wouldn't mind picking people up if we vaguely knew them.
In other countries it's still a completely acceptable form of stuff, and it isn't thought, it isn't thought to be risky, and it isn't thought to be peculiar that people do that. And because even now, I mean, I would, if it was socially acceptable to stick your thumb out if you were 40-something and not holding a set of plates, I'd do it. But it just isn't. It's not even acceptable, seemingly, for 20-somethings to do it.
Yes, I think I'm prejudiced against hitching. But if you knew there were people, if you had something like a hitching stop.
A registration system for people for the car owners, and then for the safety of the car owners as well, because a lot of car owners, I'm sure, are not happy to pick people up because they're not sure about their own safety. Maybe people who want to go on the hitchhiking scheme, they could register as well if there was like a central database.
Because young people, I mean, their phones now, I mean, I suppose I've got Facebook on my phone, but I don't use it. I don't internet on mine. But you lot, Peter, your generation, it's an automatic habit. You've got the internet on your phone. You can connect into any site. It'd be easy.
All the capabilities of social networking and communication that everyone has. I mean, when I was hitching, I had no phone, so I was more insecure. I had no connection with possibilities of people and where they were. I mean, you can even GPS people. It's like, well, there's all sorts of things like that, which I think would be really interesting and interesting to try in a rural context.